pick this one.
Okay, welcome back. So I said we were going to do rules in video 2 and then play in video 3, but we're actually going to play in video 2. I'll just explain the rules as we go. So Jason, did you pick your blueprint?
Blueprint?
You have to pick one of your blueprints
Oh yeah.
to keep. And then just hand
It's
the
this blueprint.
hand the other 2 over.
Okay, then here you go.
All right, so the other 2 are out of the game for him. We got to pick ours. And so filling all the zones in your park is an objective. And guess what? A blueprint gives you tons of points if you fill all the zones in your park exactly like the blueprint says. So they actually are very symbiotic. So this is actually a good game for that. We also have ride attractions. We need to build 3 of them. Those are the roller coasters. So we may want to not pick this blueprint because it doesn't have 3 roller coasters in it. So
Sir, no!
I almost lost
Failure!
it. Almost. So, all right. Sorry about that, folks. I have a tripod and I bumped it. Okay, so so that leaves us down to these 2, and I like them, but I tend to like this one has more of these, and I like that more than those. So I'm going to pick this one. All right, so that stays secret. We can always look at it anytime we need to, but it's a secret for now. And like I said, we're gonna explain the rules as we go. No, the PRs you keep to the end.
Okay.
Okay, so what's our objective? Our objective is score the most points. The game goes until 2 of these objectives are accomplished. Once they're accomplished, whatever round that is, that's the final round of the game. There is no additional rounds. We have scientists and workers. This game has 5 phases to it. And because it has 5 phases, we can go through the rules as we play, and it'll make total sense. And you might be wondering, why are you doing this? And because a lot of these phases are building up to the phase 4 and 5, which is the fun part. But that's what we're going to do. Okay, so we're going to start with phase 1. Jason is the first player, so he's going to take these DNA dice and he's going to roll them.
Question.
Yes, sir.
Isn't this already technically complete?
No, you have to have 18 actual DNA. You have 0.
But isn't this DNA?
That's your limit.
Oh.
Those black. So his question is,
Never mind.
he thought that this was DNA, and I was like, no. This is your limit. So we can only have 2. You can only have 2 advanced DNA.
Okay.
Okay. So at most, I can have 6 total DNA in the advanced
Yeah,
section.
sorry, I haven't played this in a while.
No, that's fine. But this is for people who've never played. So your question is valid. So this objective of 18 DNA is I need to have enough DNA to get to 18 at any point in the game. If you have it, you claim it. Okay? I assume that we can do it. So let's see, 4, 8, 12,
Yeah, if you get
14, 16, 18. Because of that plot twist that increased everything by 1, we actually have enough spots that if you had everything maxed out, you would have 18.
do it, yeah.
You could do it. Normally, this would take a while to get your cold limits up. But anyways, so that's the objective of the game. That's what triggers the end. And then, of course, everything we do in the meantime is scoring points for us. So you may notice that these dinosaurs that are on here, like this Spinosaurus, let's take a quick look at it because we know Jason's going to take it because he's my son and he's predictable that way. This Spinosaurus requires 2 yellow and 1 green. Those are all advanced DNA. And then the blue and the purple of the basic DNA. So he needs to have 5 different DNA types to be able to make 1 Spinosaurus. Once he does, it creates 3 excitement for his park. It's going to score him 7 points at the end of the game. And if he upgrades his paddock to level 4, he can have 4 of these dinosaurs, which would get him 28 points at the end of the game. So that's one of the key drivers for scoring points in this game. And now these 2 little blips here, circles, means that each one's going to generate 2 threat. So if he has 4 of these, they're going to generate 8 threat in his park. And if he has more threat than security, they will break out of their pens and wreak havoc upon his park. So let's go ahead and go over the rules for phase 1. So for phase 1, Jason, did you roll the dice? Okay, so he's going to roll the dice, the DNA dice that we have.
Okay, I'm gonna do it right here.
Okay, and then after he rolls them, he's going to put them on our board. And they have like different squares that you put them in. It doesn't matter which square is which. He just needs to put them there. So those DNA dice are available for us to take. So in order, this DNA die is going to give me one of those basic blue DNA. Here's another basic blue. This is an advanced yellow. And then this is a basic, well, yeah, these are the basic light blue, and this is the basic, darker blue.
Basic cyan.
Yeah. And then this little lock, actually, I don't know what
Cold
that
storage?
That's part of the expansion.
Under construction spots. It's one of those.
That lock is a new one. It can only be claimed with the 3 scientists. The player who does so immediately increases their security level by 1 for free, regardless of the cost. So that's pretty cool.
That is cool.
All right.
You gonna take it?
So we have 3 scientists that are used during this phase. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. What you do is, let's say I take this with a level 1 scientist. I would just get 1 light blue DNA. If I take this with a level 2 scientist, I get to multiply it by 2. So I would get 2 light blue DNA. And then the rules are saying that you need to use your level 3 scientist to claim this, or you can't claim it at all. Some of these have 2 of them on there. So a level 1 scientist would get 2 of those blue DNA. A level 2 scientist would actually get 4, and a level 3 would get 6. So that's how that works. I'm also realizing we need to do the snake draft before we start this phase, but I'm going to finish explaining the phase, and then we'll go do the snake draft. So the dinosaurs themselves, the recipes for them, which is what this would be, you would have a recipe and then a level 1 paddock. The recipes can be claimed by your scientist using a 1, 2, or a 3. So to get the large dinosaur, the large carnivore requires a level 3 scientist. The small carnivore is a level 2, and the herbivore, you only need a level 1. Now the marine ones have them written on the card. So this one says a 3, but the other ones might be a 2 or a 1 or something else. So that's something that you have to just see and wait and see what they do. Now, like I said, there's 3 scientists with a 1, 2, and 3, and that's what you would use. The other thing you can do with your scientists is you can put them here, and then that increases your cold storage. So if I put a level 3 scientist there, I can take any 3 of these black cubes, or any one, and move them 3 spaces up. And so that increases my limits for how much DNA I can store. And I can raise, it's any combination of one of them moving up 3 spaces, or 3 of them moving up 1 space, or anything in between. Okay, the last thing I can do is I can pass. And if I pass, let's say I use 2 of my scientists, but my 3rd one I don't want to use, I can pass, and then he becomes a worker for a later phase in the game when the workers are done. The workers are a later phase. So you can use your scientist as a worker if you choose, but you basically have to pass during phase 1. Okay, so before we actually start playing phase 1, I forgot, we got to do our snake draft. So the snake draft over here is, we have a reptile resort, and it's basically a hotel. And the hotel would allow me to, if I don't have enough room in my park for all my guests, I can have them stay at the hotel, and then they would come to my park the next day when I would have room for them. So it's sort of like a way to not lose any of your guests because you don't have enough room. And there's extra black cubes that came in the expansion pack, and you would use those because the hotel basically doesn't have enough rooms. You have to pay money to unlock the rooms in your hotel. The goat pen, you can pay $3 to buy 2 goats, and during setup, there's 4 goats already in the facility. So for each goat that you discard, you can reduce your threat level by 1 just for that round. So basically, you can feed the dinosaurs so they don't, run out amok if your security level is too low. So the goat pen is really good for if you're worried about your security level. Now, these two, this executive boss hog counts as a worker. He counts as 2 workers on any lab upgrade tile, and can be used to activate 1 double slot or 2 single slots. So this is a lab upgrade, and see how it says ×2? You would normally, it's a worker placement thing. You would have to put 2 workers on here to activate this. Your executive can activate it all by himself. He counts as a double. Or if you have this situation, you would have to put 2 workers on here to do this action twice. You can put the executive on there and he does both of them. So here you gain any 2 basic DNA with each worker, and with your executive you would be able to gain 4. So that's what this executive does. And then money bags here. Each market phase, place this executive on a face-up item. If an opponent buys or discards it, they pay you the cost. If no one does, you can buy it for 1 less. So I know that's a phase we haven't talked about in the game, but basically we can buy this stuff during a later phase in the game. And what the owner of that would get to do is they can put their guy here, and if let's say it was me that owned that, if Jason were to buy that particular tile, instead of paying the money to the bank, he pays it to me. That's what this executive does. And then if Jason doesn't buy it, at the end of the round, normally you can only buy 2 things each. But at the end of the round, I get to buy a 3rd thing, and it would be this at a $1 discount. But I have to wait till the end of the round. Okay? So those are our options. And I don't know which one to get, to be quite honest. I am going to take Boss Hog. Okay, Jason, you get to pick. You get to pick which one you want.
Which one?
Well, you're for sure going to get this guy, because I took the other one. And then you get to pick which of these you want. You're taking the goat pen? All right, so you start with 4 goats on your pen. No, on your pen.
Right there.
So you can discard that. It's yours, Jason. Take it. No, take them. Okay, so you can always discard a goat to temporarily reduce your threat level by 1. Okay? And did you pay any attention at all to my explanation of money bags?
Nope.
All right, well, I'll explain it again when we get to that. So I get this reptile resort, which I'm not sure I'm ever going to use. These facilities are hit and miss in terms of how much people like them. But I have to pay a lot of money just to remove black cubes. And my honest opinion is I would spend that money on something else personally. But so what it's saying is that the black cubes go in all 8 spaces, and I have to put a worker here to pay $3 to increase the hotel capacity by 1. And I have 2 worker slots, so I can do 2 around if I wanted. And after placing visitors, I may move overnight patrons from this facility to my park. You may store patrons at this facility instead of putting them back in the bag up to your current... Oh, that's actually not so bad. So I can actually have people who visited my park stay overnight and go back to my park a second time. Ooh, okay, maybe that is a nice one.
No, it's horrible.
It's horrible. Okay. So now that we have that out of the way, it is back to phase 1. So Jason, you get to go first.
Oh, okay. Let's do this thing. I want this one.
You want what one?
Lock.
So, you know your security is only $1 right now, right?
Oh yeah, you're right. Never mind. I don't want that.
I mean, later in the game, that's awesome, but right now, that's not...
Okay, I'll take this one. Can't even move it up to the room.
Well, then don't use your level 3 to do it. You need your level 3 to take a Spinosaurus.
Yep.
Okay, one thing I forgot is you get 15 bucks. I get 16.
Such a big difference, am I right?
Well, it is what it is. Okay, so which one did you do?
This.
Okay, so he took the advanced DNA one, which is a pretty popular one because advanced DNA is hard to get. He took it, it was the yellow one. And can you keep the die, like just put it off on there? Yeah. So he took that yellow one and then he moved his DNA up by 2. Like so. So that, that's probably a pretty common first move. Another common first move is somebody takes the dinosaurs that they wanted because these are, as soon as somebody takes this, there's not another dinosaur available until the next round. So that's also an issue. This Dunkleosteus is the most awful marine creature to start the game with.
What, 4th threat?
Yeah, it's 4th threat.
Yeah, 4th threat's amazing, am I right?
So you think that that's what he looks like? Is that?
They literally don't have something that looks like a Dunkleosteus. His mouth represents the Dunkleosteus.
What if it's this way? Yeah, that looks like him. How about that?
Sorta.
I mean, look at it from a profile.
Not really.
All right, well, I will have an upset son who won't finish the game if I take his Spinosaurus.
Yes, you will.
Which is why you should have taken that and let me have the yellow DNA. Because that's how the balance of life stays restored.
You could have the Dimetrodon. That's just as good.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Dimetrodon scores 4 points. All right, he's really a difficult creature to make. And even his threat level is super high. But I will do this one. And we don't actually get the dinosaur. We have to make the dinosaur. So that's the other problem. But so I'm just going to set that aside. But this is out. So I'm just going to put that on the board to show that I used the 3. His 2 should be somewhere on the board as well, right? Where's your 2?
Right there.
Yeah. And so we have to put this on our player mat. And one of the things we want to do is look at this. And then remember, this guy is he's a wild card, so he can go in any location. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put him there. Okay, so I basically put him over that spot. And so he'll count as one of those for the end of the game. So I do have a free paddock spot to build him, and that's it. That's my turn. Go ahead, it's back to Jason. So he's taking the Spino because he knows better. And so now he put the Spino board on his, and of course, same deal with him. He still needs to build one. So then it becomes, you know, we need to build DNA and things of that nature. So I'm going to... one other thing. These DNA dice have little pips on them. Those pips are a threat. So if somebody does not take one of the dice, so for example, this one has 2 pips on it. If somebody doesn't take this die by the end of the round, it goes into this section here, and for the rest of the round, our threat level gets increased temporarily by 2 just for this round. And so that means our security level needs to be increased by 2, or otherwise we're in deep doo-doo.
Then take it.
Because then dinosaurs will break out and eat our patrons. So I am.
Yes, herbivores will eat our patrons. That's
So
what
I
they
am
do.
going to take that one. And I used my 2 scientist, my level 2. So I'm going to take this one, and so since I used my level 2, I get to go up by 2. So he's taking the dark blue one with his 1, and he's moving his DNA up by 1. And I will take the light blue one again with my last one. Well, no. If we increase our cold storage, we get to increase our excitement level by 1. That's not a bad deal.
Honestly, we shouldn't even worry about excitement if this is real.
It's a tough choice. Because if I don't do that, the threat level goes up by 1. If I take that last one, then the threat level does not go up this round, which helps us. Oh, why do you always have to give me tough choices, Jason? I'm going to take the DNA, and it'll go up by 1. All right, so that's the end of the round. All of our scientists come back off the board. I mean, you could wait until the end of the complete round, or that's the end of phase 1. You can wait till the end of the round, but whatever you do, don't put them with your workers, because if you passed, they actually count as workers. So you do want to keep them separate. And that last die had no pips on it, so there's no threat level added to this round. So this is going to stay at threat 1 for now. So now we move to phase 2. And phase 2 is 2 turns. We each get to take 2 turns buying things from here. And it's pretty straightforward. If I want to buy something from this row, I have to pay $4. The only rules are these actual spots themselves can be purchased by anybody. And if you were to buy any of these or those, if you were to buy any of these, you get to destroy something over here. So you get to actually just, remove it from the market. The other thing is you can pass. And if you pass, you collect $2 and get to remove something from the market. And then the last thing is these attractions, they cost $5 plus $4. So this attraction here would actually cost $9 to purchase. So that's something also to bear in mind. But these attractions are nice because they actually have 2 spots for visitors. So Jason is first because he's the first player. And what do you want to do? It's your turn to buy.
Okay, I'm sorry. What does this do compared to this?
So if you look at your dino research in your laboratory, you can spend 1 worker to create 1 dinosaur, but then if you want to create a second dinosaur this round, you would need to spend 2 more workers. So you'd have to spend 3 total workers to make 2 dinosaurs.
Oh, okay.
That upgrade lets you build 3 dinosaurs with 3 workers. It's all about how quickly you want to make those dinosaurs.
I'll spend $5 for this one.
You're going to get any 2 advanced DNA?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so he's increasing his pink DNA up, and then you get to discard something from this row.
This is stupid.
Ooh, that one wins games. He got rid of the one that lets you score double victory points for any 1 spot in your park. People win games with that sucker. All right, so actually I don't do anything with this. So now it's to me, and I'm going to pay $4 to hire a builder. Now, I didn't explain this yet, but you actually have these, see these little pink slivers? You actually have spots to hire 3 workers. So he would go like that. And some of them give you this bonus, some of them don't, but they all give you some kind of bonus. But what this does is this lets me take one of my 3 workers that are not in the game yet, and I get to add it to my pool. So now I have an extra worker. And he is also a worker. So as you can tell, I really value my worker placement actions. Go ahead, Jason.
Wait, where's mine? No.
It's your turn. Oh, I forgot. Hold on. Your money bags. You were supposed to put him on one of these things.
Oh,
So whichever one you think I might purchase, if you put him on it, I have to pay.
I'm putting him on this.
It's too late. But if you think I'm going to purchase something, you put him on it, and then I would pay you the money instead. No, that's what your yellow guy on the... So you think I'm going to buy that? Now, if I don't buy it, at the end of...
It says, but you can say it.
All right. I'm just explaining it for the people in the video, so please don't cut me off like that. Okay? Just because you understand. All right. Well, it's your turn, so let's go.
Okay. Can I increase security?
Later, not
Okay.
now.
Fine, I'm doing this one. I need to...
So he bought the $2 top option there. It says gain any 2 basic DNA. So he's gunning for a dinosaur.
Yes.
All right, then you have to discard something from the top row. All right, so he discarded that. And now it's to us, and I really do like hiring the specialists early because they give you long-term benefits. This one being really good, but I would have to pay $5 for him, and I'm not sure I want to spend all that money for something. So what I'm going to do... I am going to spend $5. Well, no. I'm going to spend $4. So here goes $4. And I'm going to get an upgraded tool bench. And that's going to go, I'm going to put it over top of my regular tool bench. This would let you upgrade a paddock or a security by 1. This lets you do 2 of them in any combination for just 1 worker. So every worker there, you get to do 2 things. All right, Jason, you can choose to buy that for $1 less or not. Come on, you've had the whole time I was talking in the video to think this through. No, it's not your turn anymore.
Oh, I get to do this.
Yes.
So $1 less.
Or not. Make up your
I'll
mind.
do that.
Okay, so he gets that for $1 less. All right, so at the end of the round, anything that's in the $2 row gets killed.
And then move.
Everything shifts up. And I think in a 5-player game, the top 2, or no, I'm sorry, it's still just the top row that gets killed. There's a plot twist that kills the top 2 rows. All right, so there's new stuff that came out. Now, this is our first amusement park ride. These were merchandise. This one gives you a discount for upgrading things. And then, of course, the specialists are all unique. You have to read them, but we can go over those later. So now we go to phase 3. Phase 3 is our worker placement step, and we do this in parallel. So Jason's going to be placing his workers. I'm going to be placing mine. And so, for example, if I want to make a dinosaur, I would put that there. I have a lot of workers, but I don't have a lot of spots. So what I'm going to do with this guy is put him here, because his special ability is he counts as a ×2. So I can do a ×2 action just with him. And then I'm going to put these 3 guys in the bank. And I will explain everything I'm doing in a second. I actually don't have enough DNA to do. So I can only make 1 dinosaur this round. So I'm going to put him here. And I'm going to put 3 guys there. I don't have any DNA. So that's my dilemma with this round. I do have a lot of workers, as you can see. So just not a lot of DNA. Okay, so Jason, can you go one at a time and explain to everybody what you're doing with your workers?
Okay, so tool bench. Upgrade paddock capacity, increase security level by 1. I'm increasing security level by 2, so that costs $3. But I'm collecting $3 from the bank from one of my other workers.
All right, so the cost is where it left from, so it only costs you $2.
Oh, well then I get $1. That's good.
Okay, so you increase your security level by 2 with those 2 workers. So move those 2 workers off to show them which ones. Yep. Okay, then what? He went to a bank, so he got $3 from the bank.
And I'm not gonna do this one yet. I'm gonna create a dinosaur. I'm gonna create a Spinosaurus.
Okay.
And
So
I
then he
have
just spends his
2 of
DNA.
these and 2 of those. And then boom, it's made, and he's amazing. And he will.
All right, so when he does that, his excitement goes up by 3. And then you have to raise your threat level by how much?
2.
Yep, his threat level goes up by 2. And then your last one?
Gain any 2 basic DNA. What do we do when we bring in these dudes back up?
Okay, and that's all of his workers.
Yes!
So me, I actually have a pickle, but
Wait, can I eat it?
yeah. So I'm gonna do the easy one first. My bankers are gonna collect $3, $4, $5, $6. So I get $6 from the bank, and I'm gonna be needing every dollar to finish this round. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get some paddocks. So each one of these does 2 actions. So I'm gonna build a level 3 paddock, which means you have to build a level 2 first and then a level 3 second. Is it an emergency? I'm in the middle of recording.
That's why I wrote that.
Okay. All right, so let me show you real quick. This is a level 2 paddock. It costs $2. So I get to do 2 actions with this guy, because that's what this, I get to do 2 paddock or security in any combination. Well, I want to go to a level 3 paddock, so I have to pay $5, right? I have to pay the original 2 and then the next 3. I have to pay $5 to do it. So, so that's what I did, and I put it on my basic dinosaur, and so that was $5. Okay, so I'm going to put that guy aside, and that was very expensive. Next thing I'm going to do is increase security by 2. And just like I explained to Jason, this is $1 and then $1 more, so that's $2. And then this next guy is going to increase it by 2 again. So I'm going to go $2 and $2, that's 4. And I only have $3 left. So I'm going to spend 2 of those $3, and I'm only going to have $1 left to increase paddock capacity. And I'm going to get a level 2 marine one for there. Now, I have way more space than I actually have dinosaurs, and that's part of my problem. But it's largely because I wanted to create 2 dinosaurs this round, but I couldn't. So I'm going to make a dinosaur. And the only one I can make is my basic guy, who just takes any 2 basic DNA. So 1, 2 comes down, and so I now have a second basic dinosaur. And then my excitement level goes up by 1, and so does my threat. These dinosaurs are pretty crappy, so they're not that exciting, but for the start of the game, I need to do something. Okay, so that's the end of phase 4. So now we do phase 5. And phase 5 starts with Jason. He looks at his excitement level. He has an excitement level of 4. So he's going to draw 4 park visitors from the bag. And the amount of stuff in the bag is actually in the rule book. It does change based on player. So see, he drew 3 yellow and 1 pink. That pink visitor is a hooligan. So the hooligan refuses to pay for admission because he sneaks over the fence. And he also, Jason will not score victory points for it. So the hooligans are awful. You don't want them. So first thing they do, Jason, is they line up at your park entrance. Okay, and so what Jason does is he charges them admission. So he's going to get $1 for every yellow one, so he gets $3. So then now he's going to try to place them in his park somehow. And the hooligan has to go to a spot. No, he has to take one of your spots. So, okay, so what happened is, put that person back in line. So what happens is he only had space in his park for 3 people. The paddocks, the way they work, even if you have a level 4 paddock, if you only have 1 dinosaur in it, you can only put 1 visitor in that spot. Each spot has room. There's room here for 4 visitors, but I don't have any dinosaurs here, so I can put 0 visitors in that spot. That's how that works. So what he's going to do is the hooligan took up one of the spots, and the paying customer actually wasn't allowed in because the park was full. So what happens is Jason only has 2 yellows that made it in the park, so he scores 2 points, and he's up to 12.
Still gonna be more than you.
Probably. So now I'm going to draw, and my excitement level is only 2.
Draw 2 hooligans. Draw 2.
So,
Damn.
sorry. So I drew 2, and I would get $2 for that. And I actually realized I could have done this thing. I could have paid $3 to remove these, and these 2 guys could have stayed overnight. That was my fault. But anyways, I have plenty of room for them because I can put 1 here and I can put 2 here. And in fact, there's room for another, and I don't have it. So I scored 2 victory points as well. So we both have 12 victory points. It's the end of the round, and whoever has the least amount of victory points goes first. But since we're still tied, Jason will continue to go first. And then what you do is you take your meeples and you throw them back in the bag, unless you're like me and you have this hotel, which I didn't bother using. But anyways, I guess I am needed, so we're going to hit stop, and then we will start round 2 in the next video. Thanks for watching, and stay awesome. Or go ahead, Jason, you say it.
Stay awesome. Make sure you leave a like. I'm kidding. I'm not going to be that person. I'm sorry.
All right.